In the future, it's not about selling or making cars, it's about creating an energy service. When you switch from a gas-powered car to an electric car, the appliance experience at home still matters. This battery swap takes 3 minutes, and we now have 2,404 stations nationwide, providing users with over 42 million battery swaps. This is faster than refueling. This is our 4th generation station, which has a timer installed. It also possesses computing power with more than 1,000 teraflops, similar to a server, capable of fully automated operation. We can charge and swap batteries, which is why we call it a charging and swapping station. The logic is simple. Remove a battery on low charge and replace it with a fully charged battery. The uncharged battery will then go inside for recharging. Users buying future cars do not have to worry about the quality of the battery. So in this model, consumers don't need to worry about the future battery life, right? Yes, I personally experienced the swap. It was very fast, took less than 3 minutes. In fact, it's faster than refueling because you don't even need to get out of the car. 3 minutes to change the battery. I often use this function myself, drive to a nearby battery swap station and go through an automatic battery change. Ladies and gentlemen, after listening to Lee Bin's thoughts, how do you feel? I'm going to evaluate it. In the future company is not just an electric car company, it's a power service network company. I don't think it's about selling cars, it's not about building cars, it's about creating a power service.
That, by the way, was Zhou Hongyi, which is a famous billionaire here in China, ranked number 45 on Forbes China Rich list. He is the founder of Qihoo 360, which is the famous 360 antivirus software here in China, and it's very common and it's basically on every single computer. He's very, very well known, and he revealed the shocking truth about NIO and NIO's valuation. It's worth trillions, guys. It's worth trillions. That's right, guys. It's not even about selling cars. It's about creating a power energy service company. Tesla's insane valuation is partly based on the fact that Tesla is a robotics company. And people, if they're valuing Tesla based on purely the amount of cars sold and the profitability of cars being sold, then Tesla would have a much lower valuation. But however, NIO should also be viewed as a power energy service company, according to this billionaire. All right. So in theory, NIO is actually worth trillions. It's secret. In the future, Tesla might not be even selling cars anymore. They might just be building robots and selling robots. Autonomous driving solution is their ultimate goal. With NIO, in the future, NIO might not even be building cars. They might just be providing swaps, providing energy, grid stabilization, which they're doing already right now. Remember what this billionaire said, all right? The end game is not about selling cars, it's about becoming something truly special. For Tesla, it's a robotics company. For NIO, not only robotics, but also a huge power energy service company providing swaps for everybody. And just today, all right, actually yesterday, William Li was in the car with some of the other major CEOs. So here we got Li Auto CEO, and he was actually telling him, you know, why not join in on battery swap? You know, your cars aren't selling that well. Mega, pure electric, not selling that well. And Li Auto CEO also complained, you know, pure electric is hard to do. And William Li just said, hey, you know, join in on swap. It's something to consider. And, you know, with all these other guys, XPeng, Xiaomi, they would probably eventually also adopt battery swap because of the amount of swap stations NIO has and amount of problems that it solves and when it comes to battery degradation, etc. So ultimately, NIO doesn't even have to build cars. NIO just has to provide these battery swap solution to these other companies and rake in the money that way. In this clip, Xiaomi's CEO Lei Jun actually said that only 20% of their customers come from BBA, whereas NIO's CEO said 80% of their customers come from BBA. So you can clearly tell these are two different categories of customers, and they don't really collide with each other, and they're not really competing in a sense. What's really funny is the fact that the cars were really, really hot. And this is something that I actually said a while back in a couple of my videos. The showroom cars are extremely, extremely hot, kind of unbearable to sit in, to be honest, and they got to turn on the AC, and the CEO is experiencing that himself, so that's quite kind of funny. So we're going a little bit off topic, but going back on topic, we've talked about how some people think that these partnerships, they really might be stealing away NIO's business. You know, the moat, NIO's moat was battery swap, and then with a battery swap provided to these partners, the partners, you might just buy the partners' vehicles and then swap at those swap stations. So guys, remember, it's not about selling cars, all right? People are so head over heels about delivery numbers. Delivery numbers are important. Yes, it's their main source of revenue right now, but in the future, if swap is available to every single EV out there, does it still matter that NIO sells not so many cars compared to the other guys? NIO will be far more profitable if NIO focused on providing battery swap to all the EV companies out there. That's easier way of getting profit compared to selling cars, which is very high expense. You got to build the cars, you got cost of materials very high. You also have like cost of sales, you got to pay the sales rep. It's very expensive, whereas providing battery swaps to everybody, that's going to earn them a shit ton of money, guys. Because we saw with the 4-7 deal, NIO gets a lump sum payment for technology licensing rights, but also for future sales as well. So every car that gets sold by a competitor that can do battery swap, NIO gets a slice of that as a profit, pure profit, free money. NIO doesn't have to do anything to get that money. Whereas selling cars, you got to build a car, very expensive, and you might actually incur a loss, like what most companies are doing, including NIO. They lose money selling cars altogether if you combine everything together, all right, including the R&D expenses. But excluding R&D expenses, NIO is pretty much profitable, all right? So that's very, very good to know. But imagine every year you get paid lump sum amount of money for these other partners to use battery swap, and then you also get paid for every single car built that can do battery swap, and then you also get paid for every single swap that happens. And because it's partnered, NIO isn't the only one building out these swap stations, so NIO doesn't even have to spend a lot of money to build swap stations anymore. It might be those guys building swap stations using NIO's tech and pays NIO for it. How insane is that? They get paid 3 times, 3 ways. Lump sum for the company to use that for every car sold, every single swap as well. They also get a sliver of the profits, and this is pure profit, guys. So this is going to make NIO a super extremely profitable company in the future. I mean, the lump sum payments are going to be insane, all right? I'd rather much see NIO do this than try to sell cars and compete and then, enter the price war. You got to undercut, do more price cuts, lower their margins. That's all BS. But imagine just getting the money up front. And it's already happening with the 4-7 deal. It's already happening with these other partners, all right? It's just that investors right now are blind to it. So don't be so ignorant. Understand the true potential of NIO, guys. All right? And right now, we're entering a short squeeze. And let's squeeze those shorts. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.